Hi, I love to go camping, and my favorite part of camping is sitting around a campfire with friends. I want to share with you the skills I use to safely start and extinguish a campfire. I will start by teaching you what supplies you need, what kinds of wood you need, and how to prepare a fire pit. I will then show you how to arrange the wood, how to safely light the fire, and how to safely kneel by the fire. I will wrap up by showing you how to safely extinguish the fire and how to provide first aid if someone gets burned.
You will need a rake, a bucket full of water, and a cup, matches or a fire lighter, and 3 types of wood: tinder, kindling, and fuel. Knowing the different kinds of wood you need is an essential part of building a fire. The first kind is called tinder. Tinder is made of fine, dry twigs that are about the diameter of a piece of yarn. Tinder keeps the match flame burning long enough to catch fire to the kindling. Kindling is made of dry sticks and branches that are a little less than an inch in diameter. Kindling helps the flame stay lit long enough for the fuel to catch fire. Fuel is the last kind of firewood. It is made of thick, dry branches and small logs. A good way to remember the names and purposes of each is to know that tiny tinder keeps the flame going until the kindling can kindle the flame long enough to light the fuel. All wood should be dry and free of dirt to ensure it catches flame easily. It is important to remember that not all parks allow you to collect firewood, so be prepared by purchasing your own firewood from a store in the local area where you are camping. Do not bring firewood from home if you live a long distance away, as it can transport non-native insects and other creatures. It is very important to have one designated fire person to tend to the fire. To ensure that everyone knows where they can stand when the fire is burning, make a double fire circle using rocks or bricks that encircles the fire pit. Only the designated fire person is allowed inside the inner circle. All others must be outside the outer circle. You need to prepare your fire pit before you build your fire, using your rake to clear out old burnt logs and leaf litter. Before you light the fire, make sure you are kneeling or standing safely. A sturdy stance can prevent you from accidentally being pushed or falling into the fire. When standing, step 1 foot forward and bend a leg at the knee slightly. This puts your center of gravity between your legs and 2 points of contact to the ground. When kneeling, place one leg behind you with the knee on the ground and the other leg in front and bent at the knee at a right angle. This provides even more stability by spreading your center of balance. It is important to build a stable fire structure so your fire will start quickly and efficiently. The A-frame is a good method to use. Start by pushing a thick, long branch from your pile of fuel wood into the ground at a 45-degree angle, pointing in the upwind direction. This will be your ridge pole for the A-frame. Then take a bundle of tinder that is about the diameter of a can of soda and place it under the slanted branch. Start placing sticks of kindling at a slant against the center branch ridge pole. You will start seeing a structure that looks like an A-frame cabin with a bed of tinder near the opening. If you placed your ridge pole correctly, the opening will be in the upwind direction. Fire needs oxygen to burn, so be sure to leave space between the kindling of your A-frame. You can do this by laying the majority of your kindling at the front opening where the tinder is. Place the rest of your kindling at the back where the ridge pole meets the ground. This will make a gap in the walls and lets oxygen in. This also allows the majority of your kindling to be close to the burning tinder near the opening of the A-frame. This ensures the kindling catches fire. Carefully place 3 or 4 smaller branches from your fuel pile against the A-frame over the kindling. You can place larger fuel logs on the ground along the line in the kindling to form the letter A. Be sure to leave the bottom of the A open so you can light the tinder. Remember to keep all other firewood at least 3 feet away from the fire pit to prevent sparks from the fire from accidentally lighting your wood reserves and getting out of control. When you finish constructing the A-frame, use a match to light the fire. A properly constructed fire will never need lighter fluid, so don't bring it. Kneel upwind of your fire to keep the wind from blowing out your match. Kneel close to the tinder and strike the match away from you. This prevents you from getting burned and give the match less time to go out. Light the tinder in several places with the match. As the tinder burns, you will need to keep adding small amounts until the kindling sets aflame. Then, as the kindling burns, lean small amounts of kindling to the frame until the fire fuel starts to burn. When it is time to put the fire out, safety is the #1 priority. Do not pour the bucket of water directly on the fire. That will create a pillar of burning hot steam. First, sprinkle some water over the fire using your cup and use your rake to spread out and break up the coals. Then sprinkle more water and stir the coals around with the rake. Repeat this until the coals are thoroughly soaked. It is important to take the time to ensure the fire is completely extinguished. Only you can prevent forest fires. If someone gets burned, go immediately to your leader. The designated fire person must stay with the fire or appoint someone else as the designated fire person if she herself is burned. If the leader is not near, find a piece of cloth such as a shirt, bandana, or sock and quickly wet it in your bucket of water. Then gently lay it over the burn. Now let's review. You learn the supplies that you need before you start a fire, and they are a rake, a bucket of water and cup, matches, tinder, kindling, and fuel wood. You also learned that tiny tinder is twig-sized and the smallest firewood. Kindling is stick-sized and is less than 1 inch in diameter. And fuel is made of large branches and logs. You learned the designated fire person is the only person allowed inside the inner circle of a double circle fire ring. All others must sit outside the outer circle. I showed you how to stand and kneel safely by spreading my center of balance. We constructed an A-frame by using a branch as the center support, leaning kindling against it, and placing tinder in the center. To safely extinguish a fire, we sprinkle water over the coals, stirred them with a rake, and repeated the steps until the coals were completely soaked. Last, you learn to immediately go to the group leader if someone is burned. The designated fire person must stay with the fire or appoint another person as a designated fire person if she herself is burned. If the leader is not near, you can put a wet cloth gently on the burn.
Campfires provide great fun and opportunities to cook out. Use these proper fire building and safety procedures to ensure you have fun for years to come.